You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abinand Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
John Galantis.
You can find us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions for Dr. Shah or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right, and you guys can help us keep the conversation rolling by supporting the show. You can share it online with your friends and family. Leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasting content from. Link in the description below. We're going to leave some links right in there. Right there. See it? Look.
Not
Look.
if you're driving, though.
Stop the car and look. It's right there. You see the link? It's blue. Click on it. That mug's going to turn purple.
Did you like that?
Yeah. I don't know why, but it cracked me up.
That mug right there is going to turn purple.
Turn purple. You know, because when you click on a link.
No, I got it. I understood it.
Read the verse of the day. I got nothing. I'm tired.
The verse of the day today is coming to us from Philippians chapter 1, verse 20. According to my earnest expectation and hope that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but with all boldness as always. So now also Christ will be magnified in my body, whether by life or by death.
It's kind of crazy because like boldness in the Christian life is something that I think a lot of Christians, myself included, struggle with. And what Paul is saying is like, if Christ is magnified in your body, it should be easy to be bold. You've got the God of the universe on your side. You should be able to live your life with boldness kind of easy. But it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to be bold in the face of the world. It's not easy to just abandon all the insecurities and all the anxieties and all the fears from the past. It takes effort to live a life of faith.
And I think Christian history hasn't done us any favors because you get often the teaching of, tender Jesus, meek and mild.
Right.
And we are taught to be humble and to be meek, but that doesn't mean we're supposed to be like wimpy in the corner and just kind of like, I apologize for taking up space, which is, I think, where a lot of people kind of default to.
Meek equals passive to them.
Right. And that's not true.
Yeah. And
meekness is power brought under control.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And he says even then, so now also Christ will be magnified by my body, whether by life or by death.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I don't want to die.
No. But Paul said, like, whatever happens to me, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live out the calling that God has on me. If I live, great. More people get to hear the gospel. If I die, great. I'm going to heaven.
That's right. Happy Monday, by the way.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Dr. Shah.
Happy Hyundai.
Happy Hyundai. Dr. Shah. Dr. Shah is still traveling, and we're going to be talking a little bit. I think we might call him maybe on today's show or tomorrow's show, just kind of get a little quick update on where he's at, what he's doing. But for right now, I do have one quick question.
Here comes the money.
Oh, here comes the money, Ryan. It's $1 Million Monday. I got a question for you, and I want to know what your answer is. Hello.
I like money.
Oh, money. All right, so $1 million, but every single time that you eat fast food, there's a 5% chance that that company, that restaurant, that corporation is going to go out of business forever.
Sure.
So you pull up to McDonald's,
Sure,
get a burger, and there's a 5% chance you're going to tank the American economy.
Bankruptcy.
You're going to tank the economy. What happened? Do you understand
I don't think it's going to tank the entire economy.
McDonald's? That's like a Fortune 500. That's like probably a Fortune 100
You don't
company.
think
I'm
another...
not one to jump into an episode like this.
You don't think another fast food company is going to fill that vacuum?
Not overnight like that. No.
Every time you eat fast food,
there's a 5%
chance that the chain that you're eating at just vanishes undernight, just goes completely under.
And you just get $1 million?
Yeah.
You get $1 million, yeah. But it may never happen.
You're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I'm crazy?
Yeah.
Why am I crazy?
Because that would be number one, no more McDonald's. Or
who cares?
Well, I would care. Millions of people would care. Some people eat that to survive.
You got bigger problems. If you're eating McDonald's to survive, you got bigger problems.
What if you eat a Chick-fil-A and that was one of the times? Now you just tanked every Chick-fil-A.
It's not your pleasure.
Bro, that will that's going to tank the American economy. All right, how about this? 5% chance. I'll tell you what, I'll knock it down to a 2% chance. But if it happens, everyone knows it's because of you.
Sure.
No way you would do that.
Who cares?
No way on earth you would do that.
You know what? You're welcome, America, for making you healthier. You're welcome.
I'm floored.
You're welcome.
Would you do it?
There's no way on earth I'm going to tank Cookout because then I can't ever go and get a quesadilla and they not charge me for it.
I'm thinking about this like economically.
You're insane.
What do you
insane.
think would happen if Walmart disappeared overnight, just
I'm
like
not
that?
eating at Walmart.
I know, but I'm just saying a company that
But there are McDonald's inside of Walmart.
No, I'm just saying like think I'm gonna go
This
to chat.
is crazy to me. I cannot be alone in this. Nicholas, help me out.
Would you take it for $1 million, Nicholas? Just give me a thumbs up. I can't see you.
He's doing a big
He's
head
head-
nod.
You would take it? Yeah, I know
I'm
you'd
gonna say
take it.
what
'cause
would
that's-
happen.
Duh. That's a no-brainer.
Let's see what ChatGPT says. What would happen
Also, a 5%
to
chance is
American
really slim.
economy? I agree. It's a 5% chance every time. It may never happen.
It may
but if
never
it does,
happen.
that's like devastating. I'm gonna say what would happen to
I don't
American
think-
economy if McDonald's.
I don't think the American economy would suffer that much if
Disappear.
McDonald's suddenly disappeared.
All right, let's see what happens. If McDonald's were to disappear overnight, the impact on American economy would be significant, given the company's size, employment footprint, and supply chain influence. Here's a breakdown of potential effects: so job losses,
Sure.
supply chain
Which, by the way,
distribution.
other than like higher up management, if you lose your job because McDonald's went under, you can get another fast food job.
Yeah, until you get hungry for another burger. What happens when you go to Burger King
There's
next?
a 5% chance, maybe nothing.
Think about the stock market. As Dow Jones Industrial Average Company, McDonald's stock plays a role in the overall market. Its collapse could cause turbulence in financial markets and shake investor confidence.
Could cause that. There was nothing catastrophic about that.
Yeah, this
it
is
could cause
ChatGPT.
this, and it might do this.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm taking it.
I'm gonna make it sound more catastrophic. Just see what ChatGPT says. No way. I don't think you would do this. If McDonald's were to vanish overnight, the American economy would face a seismic shock, disrupting industries, livelihoods, and consumer. See?
It's because you told it to sound catastrophic. No, I would take it. I would still take it. I cannot believe you wouldn't take it.
No.
I cannot believe that.
Think about the implications of that. Like,
I am thinking about it. I get $1 million. Implication.
but eventually you're gonna just run out. You won't have it anymore. I'm shocked that you would do it. I'm really shocked.
I'm playing the odds. It's a 5% chance every time. That's low. That's so low.
I feel like we do have to call Dr. Shah and get his input on this.
See if he would take it. I can almost guarantee you he's going to be on my
Let's take
side.
a break. Let's get him on the phone, and because I hate to interrupt what he's doing. I know he's got some important stuff going on right now.
Got
but
an important
I feel-
question for us.
I feel like we really got to figure this out. Let me take a break. We'll be right back.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with more Clearview Today. Hey, Clearview Today listeners. Every day we invite you to join us in these conversations and explore the never-ending truth of God's Word. And if you've been following the show for a while, if you feel like it's blessed you and you believe in the mission we're on, we invite you to partner with us through your financial support.
That's right. Your giving helps us keep the message of the gospel reaching more hearts and minds every day. And when you give for the gospel, that's not an act of generosity. That's an act of worship. It's a way to honor God and invest in His kingdom, knowing that every single dollar you give helps us share the hope of Jesus with a world in desperate need of Him.
If God is pressing on your heart right now to give to the Clearview Today Show, you can visit our website, clearviewtodayshow.com, and press that little button that says Give Today. And we just want to say thank you for your support. May God continue to bless you as you partner with us in making our show as impactful as possible for the gospel of Jesus Christ.
That's right. We appreciate every single one of you. Now let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for new topics, send us a text. It's 252-582-5028.
That's right. We're back from our break, and I got to tell you, I cooled down just a little bit.
Thank goodness.
I was really, really shocked. Dr. Shah, we have you on the line. I know you're traveling. I know you're doing really important stuff. We can't wait for you to get back so we can talk about it. We've been teasing the really, really cool things that you've been up
Yes.
to during your travels.
Dropping some spoilers, but light spoilers.
Yeah, little light spoilers here and there. We know that it has something to do with the good old US of A. So that's all we're saying to the
Yes,
people
it
for right
does.
now. How's your travels going, by the way, just real quick?
So far, good.
Very
so
cool.
Far, good. It's cold out there, but overall, not too bad. Not cold enough.
Ryan and I got into a huge tiff on
We did not.
on the radio
we
show.
did not.
Well,
I
he said
gave
something.
you an answer, and you did not like the answer.
I need to ask you this, Dr. Shah. For $1 million, for $1 million,
Okay.
anytime that you eat fast food, there's a 5% chance that the restaurant that you're eating at disappears, like goes completely bankrupt, just vanishes off the face of the earth overnight.
Ooh.
Now, Ryan said 100% he would do it. I said, Ryan, think about what would happen to American economics if McDonald's just disappeared. He said it'll be fine. I was floored. What if Taco Bell just goes under?
It's a 5% chance.
But
It's a 5%.
Don't you love
chance.
America?
I do love America. It's a 5% chance, and I believe in the resilience of other fast food companies. They'll step in and fill that vacuum.
Yeah, until you get hungry for a burger. Would you do it, Dr. Shaw? $1 million. But if you eat at McDonald's, there's a 5% chance it just goes completely bankrupt right then and there.
5% is not a lot.
Oh, I think he got disconnected. Dr. Shaw, you still with us?
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I said, is it the whole franchise
Yes.
that goes away, or is it just one store?
No,
No,
the
it's
whole
the entire franchise.
the entire thing. There's no such thing as McDonald's anymore. It's basically you roll the celestial dice.
So they hate to see me come because if they know what's about to happen.
Oh yeah, hundreds of thousands of people lose their jobs just overnight.
But it's a 5% chance.
Oh, so what if I start at like some really no-name places? Like really, it was a great idea. Like remember the Hot and Now back in the day?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Hot in now?
Yeah.
No, I never
yeah.
heard of that.
Do you remember that, Ryan?
I've heard of it. I never went there, but I have heard of it.
Hot
yeah,
in now.
It was a great idea. They were going to be like hot food now, and they were going to even beat McDonald's time. They just beat the time and they shut down.
Wow.
So maybe I'll start with those kind of places
Like
and shut them down.
what was that
Take
place?
$1 million.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was saying, what was that place we went to in Connect? Culver's. Like, go to a Culver's or something. Somebody around here, nobody even knows what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I can reinvest the money and buy another franchise like Chick-fil-A and restart. I take that $1 million, reinvest it, and now it's no longer Hot and Now. Now it's Chick-fil-A of whatever. And,
There you go.
I don't know. I would feel bad about shutting people down.
Return
I
on
don't know if I
investment.
That's what I was saying. Like, I think it like if you just like imagine what happens if some like that's like a Fortune 100 company gone overnight. The stock market is
Yeah.
done, but Ryan got his burger, so it's all good.
It's a 5% chance. I'm willing to risk it.
And the problem is, you would probably have hitmen on you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that is true. Yeah, if you went to a high profile place like McDonald's, you're probably done.
Yeah, they'll kill you.
It's true. Is it really worth it at that point?
I don't know.
Maybe that's just the incentive I need just to not eat fast food anymore.
Those are some tasty burgers, Dr. Shaw. I don't want to hold you up. I know you're traveling, but thank you for answering this very foolish question on a Monday morning.
Thank you. We're praying for you. Safe travels, and we can't wait to have you back on the show.
Oh, people are writing into the show, by the way. I meant to say that, but people are writing in saying, "Hey, we missed Dr. Shaw. Can't wait for you to get back. Can't wait to hear what this special announcement is."
Well, thank you. Just keep us in prayer. It's quite exciting. Let me just say, it's one of the highlights of my life.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I will look forward to sharing that with you guys.
I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to
Miss
talk
y'all
about
too.
it.
That's right. We miss you. See you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, we can take these headphones off now. I really expected he was going to be all for it. I thought he was going to be all for it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, shoot.
He did have a little more trepidation than I was thinking of.
Well, I think you just are misunderstanding how vital fast food is to America. But look, if you say you love America, I believe you.
It's such a slim chance. I think we'll be fine.
You know, we've been talking a lot about America on the show. We've been talking about our nation, and that kind of does go into what Dr. Shaw's doing with his travels. But we wanted to talk about something that I think is dear to our heart. I know it's dear to Dr. Shaw's heart. He's preached on this many times. Ryan, are you happy about where our nation is right
No.
now? Oh, you didn't even hesitate.
No.
Hey, can I tell you something? I'm not happy either.
Yeah, no. I think most people, if you ask them, like genuinely, are you happy with where America is? Most people are going to say no.
Well, I think that was asked, and it was really funny because who was that guy that did the interview with Kamala Harris when she was doing her campaign? Was it Brett Barr or something like that?
Oh,
Where
I
it was
think
like
so.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
70-something% of Americans are completely unhappy. I think we talked about this on the show, and she was like, it was like you're the vice president,
The administration that you're a part of.
Yeah, this is you. It's your leadership. What do you have to say about that? And she said, Donald Trump's running for office, and she thought that was going to be like a really, really gotcha moment. But I think, not even a few months after that, in November, the overwhelming majority proved with their ballots how dissatisfied they were with our nation. And I think what's being called one of the most most influential political shakeups in all of human history. Really, I think it's a glimpse into the soul of where we are in America right now.
I think you're absolutely right. Sometimes we can be tricked into thinking that the voice that we hear the loudest represents the majority, and that's simply not true. Media by and large is represented by a liberal agenda.
Oh yeah.
So that's what you're going to hear the loudest, because that's what has control over the media platforms.
Yeah.
In movies, on TV shows, on even news broadcasts, it's largely influenced and produced by liberal personalities.
And I think, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, when we see political shakeups like this, people are calling this such a crazy shakeup. Is it really though? I mean, I think that people just finally have had enough. They're fed up, and they're saying, no, this does not represent what my values are.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't think it's as big of a shakeup as we think. I think this was inevitable.
Right.
I think Americans are overwhelmingly declaring that they care about the state of their economy, the state of the morality of our country. And I think it was really, really good that they included that in the polling of are you happy with where the country is? Not just with money, not just with social issues, which I think got blown up to be a much bigger thing than it should have been, but with the morality, the objective morality of where we are. And people want a better world for their kids and for their grandkids. Yeah. And, I think one of the things to keep in mind is until Jesus comes back, I don't think there's ever any victory. I know we're celebrating this political win, this presidential win, but there's no victory that's ever going to last. We'll be here again in another maybe 8, 12, 15 years unless Jesus comes back.
We were talking about this recently, and when I was younger, when I was growing up, I was torn between these two realities. I want Jesus to come back, and I want to go to heaven, but I also I want to grow up, and I want to get married.
Yeah.
And I want to have kids. And
yes,
I want to grow up and see my grandkids. And I'm not saying those are bad things. And I love the life that I have, and I love my kids, and I want to see them grow, and I want to see grandkids, and God willing, great grandkids. But the older I get, the more I'm like, just come on back, Jesus. Just maybe it's not quite as important to me as it was. Just come on back.
Maybe we'll just take the L on this one.
Yeah,
you come on in. I know the W's coming.
Right.
We'll just bite the bullet and come on back.
Right.
It's funny. I have had those thoughts too, and I think it's just because I'm in the infancy of adulthood. If you can imagine.
That's a good way to put that. The infancy of adulthood.
I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a 2-year-old, and I've got another kid on the way, and it's I feel like now I'm in the beginning stages.
Have we said that on the show yet?
I think so. Have we not?
I don't know if we've actually said that on the show.
Have I not? Oh, yes. We've got another little boy on the way.
Yay!
Yeah, hold on. Baby number 3.
Maybe we have, but even if we haven't, baby Galantis number 3 deserves some
Galantis number
celebration.
3 is coming on. I'm hoping. We were hoping for a little girl, so we didn't get one. So baby Galantis 4 probably is on the horizon.
Look ahead to the future.
I always used to say, Ryan, how in the world do you have 5 kids? But I think I could see a world where I have 4.
Yeah,
4 is probably gonna. 4, I think 4 is gonna be a hard stop for us. But what were we talking about? Oh, I'm in the infancy of adulthood, meaning I am in that place where it's okay, I feel like finally after 33 years, I'm finding my stride in life.
Yep.
I want to continue it, but I also have had those moments where I'm if Jesus came back right this moment, I think I'd be
fine.
I'd be okay. And I think we've been here before.
Yeah,
we've been on the cusp of victory, and then only to see the decline. And I think we tend to forget that the decline is not forever. We think, okay, we won this victory, but now things are going bad, and they're just going to keep going bad. Dr. Schaub preached a sermon one time. I can't remember which one it was. I'll find it and I'll link to it. But it was talking about how after the Revolutionary War, this the biggest victory America could conceivably ever win, right? The people actually started falling back into sin. Once that victory was won and we became a nation, atheism actually started to rise. By the 1790s. That's 20 years after the Revolution. You've only been a nation for 20 years, and atheism is starting to really ramp up as people are expanding out west. But what ended up happening was God's people started praying, and revivals, these small-scale revivals, they were small at first, but they started breaking out in Pennsylvania and Virginia and New York and Ohio and the Carolinas and Georgia. And so one by one, all these different revivals grew into what became the Second Great Awakening.
Yeah.
And I see, and I think he said 1 million something people came to know Jesus Christ. And I think that's what we're expecting now is this how many Great Awakenings did we had? 5 or 6? 5?
I don't actually know.
I think it's 4 or 5. But people are expecting the next huge Great Awakening.
Yeah.
But then it's how does that happen?
Right.
How does revival work?
One, I think you just hit the nail on the head. Like, people started praying for revival.
Yeah. Yeah.
God's people began praying, and smaller revivals started to break out. And then that gains traction, and that, more people hear about that, and more people hear about that. And just like the gospel spreading in the book of Acts, the gospel catches on like wildfire, and people get saved, and people come to know the Lord, and then they go and share the gospel with other people. But revival starts on a small scale. It always does. Revival starts on an individual scale in the local church. And I think that's, we've missed that for a lot of years, is praying for revival starting in the local church.
So I'm really glad you said that, because I think people text into the show a lot asking like that, look, what are the specifics of revival? And I don't know if you guys had like revivals in your church when you were growing up. We did. Like in the church I got saved in, revivals were a scheduled thing. Like, hey guys, we're going to have a revival service this year, and maybe we won't have one for another 3 or 4 years, but it was like a thing that we initiated. And I think people have written into the show and been like, can we do that? Does God have to spark the revival, or can we as Christians initiate revival? And my answer is, I don't know. I would love to get Dr. Shaw's opinion on that.
Here's the thing, and Dr. Shaw can clarify this much better than you and I can. But you can have a revival service, but the one who starts a revival is always going to be God.
Yeah, true.
We're not powerful enough to start a revival on our own.
Right.
However, we can and should be the instruments that God uses to start that revival. So I don't think there's anything wrong at all with saying, hey, we're going to have a revival service, and we're going to preach the gospel, and we're going to call for people to get saved.
That's true. Because I think if you look at those like great awakenings that we saw in America, it all started with people, like Christians specifically, being convicted of their sin. Or maybe some of them were even non-Christians, but they were being convicted of their sin, and they were realizing that they were sinners. You know what I'm saying? They realized that they needed God, and they needed to give their lives to him. But I think the saddest thing, and I think this is where we see revivals happening, is you see it fade. Like this big emotional fire erupts in the form of a revival, and then it just like every fire that's ever existed, it just fades away. It kind of burns itself out.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the saddest things to see, is like a Christian or a church who began in fire, and now they're just living in smoke. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to gas up this fire, but they have no fuel, they have no spark. It's just like trying to ignite flames out of the smoke that lingers.
Yeah.
And I think about like our nation. I know I'm rambling here, but I think about our nation. Like, when was the last time we saw a large scale revival?
I don't think we have in recent years, certainly in our lifetimes.
No, not at all.
I don't think we have seen that. But that's not to say it's not possible, and that's not to say we shouldn't be praying for those things. Dr. Shaw, in his book, 30 Days of Praying for America, him and Nicole wrote this book, and we've talked about it for the last couple episodes. They have a chapter devoted to revival. It talks about the 3 different great awakenings that we've experienced over the years, and how there are other organizations that kind of came alongside and were a part of those spiritual revivals and spiritual renewals. But Dr. Shaw directs us to this verse, and he's talked about this verse from the pulpit a lot. It says in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, God says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. And that's not just, let me slap a Band-Aid on it, let me just get a quick fix, let me just, pop an ibuprofen. That is true and genuine healing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Course correction for where we've gotten off track, for where we have gone astray as a nation. That's getting us back on track with God. Yeah,
that's right. And it's obvious. We are more divided as a nation today, I think, than we've ever been. I mean, we've been divided as a nation before. Maybe we're not quite as bad as we've been in the past, but I would say we're very, very divided.
We're up there.
We're divided. Sure. I mean, we're divided in things that don't even come to politics. We're divided in our entertainment. We're divided in our like churches. We're just divided across the board. And I think a lot of it has to do with like actual wicked forces that have done everything they can to tear us apart. There's economic incentive, believe it or not, in media to divide people. That's why, a lot of times this show and a lot of Christian broadcasting doesn't get the views that most secular media gets. It's because we're actually trying to bring people together. That's not a very popular viewpoint as far as entertainment and media goes. But I think it's extremely vital that we do everything we can to bring about healing in our nation. That's the heart behind this show. That's the heart behind Dr. Shaw wanting to get this show out to as many people as possible. So when we ask you guys to share this show, understand we're not doing it just so that we can get more viewers to listen to us or listeners to listen to us. At the end of the day, we don't get anything for that. It's not like we get paid more because we have more listeners.
Yeah.
It's because we believe in the mission of this show and the mission of the church, the mission that Christ has given to us.
That's right. That's right. And, sharing this is one small way that we together can pray for revival. That's what we pray for as a team, as a show. Those of us here at Clearview, that's what we pray for, is that God send revival and let it start with us.
Yeah.
And in order for that to happen, we've got to make sure that our hearts are right first, right?
That's right.
We are the first ones to be responsible for our own spiritual growth and development and revival. So if there are things in your life that are hindering your relationship with God, maybe some unconfessed or undealt with sin, some bitterness, some apathy, ask God to help you deal with those things. Ask God to help bring about revival starting in your heart. And then you can be that vessel. You can be that instrument that God uses to spill revival over into your church, into your family, into your workplace, into your community. And then, together, us at the Clearview Today Show, you in your context, let's pray that God would send revival and that we would be the instruments that the Holy Spirit puts on to accomplish that task.
And here's a sad truth, man. You ready for a sad truth?
I fear that I'm not, but
I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give you a sad truth. You may not ever see that large-scale revival that you're dreaming of. It's
That's
not
a bitter pill.
That's a bitter pill. Because guess what? I got main character syndrome bad. I got it bad. I'm a millennial, right? I'm a true millennial.
I think all of us in that generation struggle with that.
I
am the main character.
I am the main character. I am the centerpiece of my own point of view in this world. And so everything I see is through my lens, right?
Yeah.
Which means, of course, God is going to bring about this revolutionary revival, not only in my time, he's going to bring it through me.
Might not.
He's going to bring it through my show.
Might not be me.
He may not. He may not. And if he doesn't, am I still as sold out for the gospel? And here's something that I think, Ryan, you can speak to as well. Am I still willing to equip the next generation to do it? I want it to come through me, right? I want all the credit and all the praise and all the glory. But if God chooses, hey, it's going to come through another generation. It may come through your son's generation. It may come through his son's generation. Am I still going to be as passionate to equip the next generation to do that? Ryan, that's something that you do. That's your mission. That's your life, as you equip teenagers to be able to do the things that God's calling them to do. Should he be the one to call them to do it?
That's right. That's right. So my heart when I'm speaking to teenagers, and Dr. Shaw and I have talked about this, my heart is, as I'm speaking to this group of young people, these 6th through 12th graders, what if one of them is the next Billy Graham?
That's right.
What if one of them is the next Lottie Moon? What if one of them is the next, D.L. Moody? What if one of them is that next great force in Christianity that surges the gospel forward, that brings forth that revival? Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's not our generation, but what if it's one of them? And, that's what I think about when I wake up. That's what I think about when I go to sleep, and it's what fuels me. It's what drives me.
That's right. I would say as we're closing the show, prepare your heart for a spiritual awakening. It might not be the next big large scale revival that we dream about when we say we want this next, like the 6th great awakening or whatever, but there is a spiritual awakening coming, I think, for America. I think God is making that very clear with how things are progressing, with what we're seeing in these large scale corporations starting to dial back, starting to see the inherent flaws of their philosophies and of their policies over the last 8 years now, or 4 years now. But I think, again, what we saw in November proves that God is not through.
That's right.
And so if your heart is prepared for it, you will be better equipped, because it's going to happen with or without us. And that's our prayers, that God, whatever you do in this nation, please, please, please don't leave us behind. Don't let us just sit on the sidelines and witness what you do, God. We want to be part of it. We want to be where you are.
Yeah. Guys, make sure you join us tomorrow, same time, same station. We're going to dive into another great topic here on the Clearview Today Show. Thanks again to our sponsors for making today's episode possible. And don't forget, you can support us by subscribing to the show on iTunes if you want to re-listen or share it with a friend. And you can always support us financially at clearviewtodayshow.com. John, anything you want to plug as we close today?
Definitely want to plug Dr. Shaw and Nicole's book, 30 Days of Praying for America, Daily Devotions to Heal Our Nation. A lot of what we've been talking about this week while Dr. Shaw's traveling is coming straight from that book, believe it or not. It's available on Amazon, and it's actually book 3 in a 3-part. It's actually going to be way more than 3 parts, but right now it's a trilogy of books. 30 Days Through a Crisis is number 1. 30 Days to a New Beginning is number 2. You can get all of those on Amazon.com. Link in the description. You can also get our original music on iTunes, Spotify. Heaven Here and Now is our debut album. It's all under Clearview Worship. Make sure you go on ahead and download that. Download our EP that we came out with before that, Together Forward. Lots and lots of great worship songs for you and for your ministry.
That's right. Pray for revival. Pray that it would start with you and spill over into the world around you.
That's right.
Invite a friend to listen to tomorrow's episode with you. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.